So we're going to kick the show off with some West Virginia knowledge. JC, you want to
put me on the spot, huh?
We want to inform the good people of the world who are listening what the state bird of West Virginia is. The animal.
The state bird?
The state animal, excuse me.
It's either the Sasquatch or the Wampus cat. I'm not sure which one.
Well, I know the state fucking color of West Virginia is primer.
You're not too far off the mark there. But it's got to be on a dopehead's
What's
vehicle.
your guess? What's your guess there at the end?
The state color?
The state animal.
State animal? Mothman?
That's not a color, but good try.
That's the state bird. Coming up next, we got the state bird. Who wants to guess what that is?
It's the Mothman from Point Pleasant. We all know this.
The state bird.
They've got a statue of him.
What about the state tree?
Pot plant.
Yeah.
You got any
Cannabis
guesses?
sativa.
Bo, you got any guesses on the state tree?
You know what? I'm lost right here with this. I'm not a botanist, in case you fucking haven't discovered.
Did you say botanist?
I did say botanist.
His talents for botany were not discovered on the range. How about the state fruit?
Biscuits and gravy.
Tutors.
Start your day the homemade way.
That's it. JC, hey, we were in Tennessee one day. Remember we were in Tennessee? JC said, they ain't got no tutors. They don't start their day the homemade way.
No, they ain't got no. What they got down there? Crystal and fucking White Castle?
And I said,
trash.
I said, JC, where'd you go? He said, they don't start their day the homemade way.
No, sir.
We were in Tennessee. I said, yep, they don't.
You guys have done thousands of dollars of advertising for them for free. We ought to get them on the show as a sponsor.
What else we got for West Virginia?
The fish, the state fish of West Virginia.
I got one for you.
That chick from Polka.
Yep. Spoiled trout.
Just nasty.
Long John Silver's.
The state fish.
Hey, here's a question for the group. How in the fuck does Long John Silver stay open?
I think it's a front for the cartel.
Buddy, I do too.
Shit. They never have a line.
Because nobody's ever there.
Nobody's ever there.
Nobody's there.
Even Captain D's, no one's ever there.
It's like those antique stores who never have anybody in there. It's definitely a front for something else going on.
Yeah.
All right, there. And last question here. The state flower.
The satellite dish.
Without a doubt. I got two of them on my roof.
And you know what?
Satellite dish.
Well, you know what? Probably 1 in 100 of them work.
Mine work.
People been on a hard time since they shut down all the Radio Shacks.
But it's hard time.
Hard time.
Hard times.
You don't know nothing about a hard time.
All right, can I get a beer?
Yep.
I didn't have
The
beer.
factory closed down.
We got to get a bow of beer, and then we'll roll into the rest of the show.
Times. I mean, there's not a person in this garage that didn't have a relative 2 or 3 that you didn't walk into their house. And there was an old broken Zenith floor model with a smaller TV with rabbit ears sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh. The state bug.
Turn the antenna.
What's a state insect? Last one.
The bed bug.
Yeah.
The bed bug.
Politician.
That's close.
We had
You know what?
Democrat.
I'm going to change the subject here. Let's go to deer season.
Oh, shit.
Okay, come on.
I'm kind of a little pissed because
Do tell.
hunting in these hills and these mountains and shit, you learned a lot. There ain't no such thing as wind. Play the wind. Good luck with that. That fucker swirls around. But I think every mature doe and squirrel needs to die.
Okay.
Because the fucking mature does bust you. The squirrels make you think that there's something coming. You know what I mean?
You can't. You and me have got skunked. We've gotten no victory this winter when it comes to the whitetail.
Not yet, but we still got 3 weeks left.
It's funny. You guys go out hunting every morning and can't see them, and on my way to work every morning, I see dozens of them.
Yeah, you see dozens of does.
You know, they
You
do.
don't see You don't see no shooters.
Bucks are out in the middle of the road every morning on my way to Buffalo, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" My apologies. Bucks are up in the road every morning on my way to work across Johns Creek, and they're looking at me, and they stop it, and they're like, We know you're not
I
hunting.
think
so
somebody's
we're out
full
here.
of shit over here.
Well,
They ain't afraid of me, toe gunner.
think that all you want, but they
Well, they
know
ain't afraid of a
they
toe
know
gunner.
they know I don't have a gun.
They're not afraid of a toe gunner.
Well, they're
You
not
know-
a tank
You know,
either.
a white-tailed
They're
deer.
scared to death of a goddamn 0311 and an 0331, by God.
The white-tailed deer does over $1 billion of damage.
Let me tell you
Yeah, to
something.
vehicles.
Well, let me tell you
every
something.
year.
No, we damage the whitetail population. Let me tell you what happens. If the whitetail deer could eat a human, there wouldn't be a hunter left in the woods.
If my aunt had a pecker, she'd be my uncle.
Well, birds carried. If worms carried 45s, the birds wouldn't fuck with them.
But every morning on my way to work across Johns Creek, going
Cool
to
story,
Buffalo
bro.
from Milton,
Anyway,
there are dozens of bucks standing in the road.
Dozens.
dozens.
I'm not telling you.
You're talking
I'm
about
not lying.
12.
There are dozens. Now nothing that I would shoot.
Send
they're
me
not.
a grid.
They're not
Send me a
wall.
grid.
They're not
You're
wall
so
hangers.
Full of shit. It comes out
Oh,
your
they're not
ears.
wall
But
hanging now.
they're-
Dozens
Now we're
of
going
bucks.
down, JC.
They're bucks hanging out in the middle of the road.
Math
at
for
3
Marines.
o'clock in the
Hey,
morning.
math for Marines was not a requirement during the Banana Wars, Jamie Jones.
Well, no.
That's why you giving us.
He said,
giving
he
these
said there's
inflated
bucks
numbers.
all over the place, but they're not wall hangers. So you know what that tells me? They ain't no fucking bucks.
They got
out there.
horns hanging out of their head. I mean, that's a buck.
Tatonka.
Where's this
Tatonka,
at?
Tatonka.
Where's this at?
Johns
From
Creek.
between Milton and Buffalo, Johns Creek.
Uh-huh.
There's several farms. They just hang out. I mean, I don't know. I kind of find it funny.
Well,
that
anyway, welcome
everybody
to the
that I
JC.
know. Everybody that I know is getting up at 3 o'clock in the
He's-
morning.
he's done coming
to
here and
go
tried to take
hunting-
over.
to go hunting these deer, and I'm dodging them on the way to work.
And I'm sure you do a good job at it.
But look at my car. It doesn't have any dents.
Hey, look at that dent right there in that car. Anyway, welcome to the JC and Bo Show, ladies and gentlemen. I am Bo, and this is
JC. And we got our good friend Jamie Jones, 0352 from 1-8, and probably the finest umpire in the state of West Virginia.
Listen, me and my wife went and watched him umpire, and he knows what he's doing, buddy. And I'm going to tell you this right now. He holds it close to his heart. Me and him went to a Marshall college game, and he didn't give a fuck about the game. He was teaching me about the umpires. Look, the umpire needs to do this. He needs to do this. He don't give a fuck about the game. He cares about the umpires. Well, and to tell you the truth, if you don't have an umpire, you don't have a game.
Nope.
Jamie, give us your sexiest strike call. Give it to us. Hey! There it is, buddy. There it is.
How
Let's get
about
another
you're
one.
out of here?
There it is, buddy.
So somebody's kicking dirt on you. What are you
Hey,
gonna do?
look here. No, nobody's ever kicked dirt on me yet.
Hey, do you remember how many parents have you had to throw out? How many coaches have you had to throw
There's
out?
been several.
Tell
But
me a story about the best one you had to throw out.
the best one I've had to throw out. I actually had a coach that I let him know that I screwed up a call.
You screwed it up, and you
this
let them
was
know.
this was at Tulsa High School about 5 or 6 years ago. Tulsa High School and Mingo Central, and I'm behind the plate and had a runner on third, and I let the coach know that, you know what, I screwed it up. I did not watch the runner at third. It was my job on a fly ball to midfield to watch the runner and make sure he tagged up. So I'm watching out here, got caught watching the fly ball. So the runner comes in, he didn't tag up.
Instead of doing your job,
Instead
you're
of doing
watching
my
the
job.
game.
Yeah, and I let the coach know, the head coach know, that, you know what, hey, that's my job. I messed it up. He got mad, but he understood. But the assistant coach couldn't let it go. So 2 innings later, the assistant coach is still complaining and bitching about it.
All right, goddamn, get to the story.
And I'm behind the plate, and I call a strike, and he's still bitching. And I walked over and I said, look, I've had enough of you. I messed up. I owned up to it. You can let it go or you're out of here. And he said something else, and I said, well, guess what? Wham!
There it is.
You're out of here.
Beat it.
You know, if I make a mistake,
Wait a minute, that's your best story?
that's the best.
That's a.
I thought, no, you had to argue with some people, fans are yelling at you.
there. You always have to argue with fans and parents. That's the given. That's you. They always know more than we do.
Would you just ask him if that was his best story he ever had in his whole life?
Yeah,
No, I've had people. Actually, here's one more. I actually was doing a middle school game, and I had a lady arguing so many calls behind the plate. So between innings, I went out and I sat down beside her. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I thought I'd come out here and sit with you because obviously this is the best fucking place to see strikes and balls." Never heard anything else from her the whole game.
That's good. Seabass, hey, what kind of questions you got lined up for us today, buddy?
Oh, well, we're going to talk about some current events if you want to. If you want to get into
current
some.
events.
Here we go.
Hey, there's been a lot of shit, and we've been having a little whiskey. So
Well,
I haven't.
well,
you
we
want
gotta
what
be
do you want to
careful,
talk about? The fishermen?
We're gonna
the
try
Gulf?
not to get too fired up. What do you got, Seabass?
You want to talk about the fishermen in the Gulf or the government shutdown first?
The Colombian fishermen?
No, I thought they were Venezuelan. Are they Colombian? I got to look it up.
Venezuelan,
They're from Venezuela.
Czechoslovakian.
Well, we don't know where they're from, but
The Slee
We
stack?
know they're not fishermen.
people keep saying, I mean, it's listen, they're not flying under any flag. They're in international waters, so they're not protected by anything, to tell you the truth. All we know is they're no shit. We're bringing drugs into the United States.
Right.
They're like, that boat can't make it to the United States. Hello, you dumb motherfuckers. They got fuel. They got gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of fuel on there so they can make it.
Hey, I didn't see nobody casting a net. I didn't see Bill Dance or Roland Martin. I seen a bunch of tubs and jugs and a speedboat. That don't look like no fishing boat I've ever seen.
And if I may be permitted a quote from the movie Josie Wales, "Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining."
Buddy,
Those are not fishermen.
Ain't that the truth? And here's the thing about all this stuff. All right, it's the media setting people off. Right, the same people that are mad about the Colombian fishermen are the same people who will tell you to leave the 130-pound dude on the stolen 10-speed here in Putnam County.
Yeah.
Leave him alone because he's not bothering anybody.
You know, for decades we've heard
It's the
about
same people. I don't want to hear it. That boat deserved to get smoked.
for decades we've heard about the war on drugs. When we were all kids, 70s, early 80s, the war on drugs. Now we're actually shooting back.
You're executing.
We're making a dent in the war on drugs, and just because it's a certain administration, just because it's Donald Trump
Right.
making the call, we have certain individuals upset with it. So if you either want a war on drugs or you don't want a war on drugs, if you
You're
want
right. Make a decision.
if you want to get rid of all this crap, then you've got to cut the head of the snake off. Cartels.
Hold up. They say the war on drugs started, and they say just say no. That ain't how it works. That is not how it works. When kids get to a party, a guy's talking to a girl, yada yada, everything's flowing. I mean, shit happens. I know for a fact of 3 people that we knew down in Florida not too long ago that died from that garbage, the fentanyl. And what they're doing is the Chinese are sending it to South America.
Yep.
They're loading that shit up, and they're fucking running it right up here to our country. You know, the days of you going out and having a bump or two and having a party are over.
Yeah.
Now you're playing Russian roulette.
Yep.
You know, and I think people are just trying to kill our kids. They don't care.
No, profits. It's whatever they can do to gain money. And I made a comment today on social media with someone who talked about these people have due process, which, again, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. Cartels and anybody who's in with them, they don't care about what they have to do as long as they can gain money. As many people that can
You're
die,
just a number. You're just a number to
yeah,
them.
they don't care. As many Americans that die.
But not even the cartels. Listen. I want to talk about the people here in our country that really are justifying that bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got...
Well, they're fishermen. Yeah, they're the fishermen in the middle of the fucking... Are you kidding me? On a high-speed speedboat with all these drugs, and they got gallons of gasoline to get them there. They're going to be refueled when they're there. They're going to make it back, right? Now, the Coast Guard should do that. Listen, the Coast Guard, there's so many of them. By the time they catch them on radar, they're already in there. So now we're using drones. We're using our technology. And we're saving the American people, I think.
Bad behavior across all fronts, has allowed stuff like this to fester and get bad. At what point do you stop it? You have to do something.
And
you have to do something.
And you know what? People are like, how do you know? How do you know if that was a fucking drug? I'm going to tell you how they know.
If it looks like a duck and it smells like a duck, it's a duck.
What happens is we got people on them beaches that are talking, and we know exactly what boats are holding the bullshit. That's exactly what happens. Our intelligence community is so good you can't.
We have, yeah.
You know, I mean, they know.
They can intercept radio transmissions.
The satellite imagery we have is just crazy. They could. It's like out of a science fiction movie. What we can do, we can hear every conversation happening on the Earth. We can see everything happening.
I know they can. They can see JC's.
They know
dick
what's going on
from space, which is amazing.
Damn. So they know what's going on, and the thing is it amazes me how much of the public thinks that they have a right to know every little thing, every little detail.
Hey, if the current administration cured cancer, there would be people that
about it.
Not only would they find fault, they'd convince other people that they were wrong to be excited because there was a cure for cancer.
They would hold up signs, "I love cancer." But I mean, at first when all this started happening, I just dive deep into it and say, man, are we just smoking fucking, people out of nowhere, but I knew better. I knew we weren't. I mean, if we're smoking motherfuckers out there like that, there's got to be a reason, and listen, a lot of these liberals and all these fucking people are like going, well, no, we need to do this, we shouldn't have shot him. We shouldn't have shot him twice, this, that. I got news for you. Talk to a parent that has lost a child to drugs. Ask them. Yeah, just say no. It does not work.
On all fronts, be it immigration, be it drugs, be it just bad actors, period. Our country has become way too... Tolerance has put us in this position. It has, and
I wanted to be tolerant, so did you. We all wanted to be tolerant, but now we're at the point now where, you know what, man? They think our tolerance is weakness, right?
You got to call out evil when you see it.
Right. Our tolerance now is weakness, and it's a shame. It's a shame that they put us in this position.
And that we talk about the drugs, but it kind of ties into immigration. And I look back to our greatest generation. It didn't matter if you were English, German, Italian, wherever you came from. You came into New York, you saw the Statue of Liberty, you came here, you worked, and you integrated into American society, into American culture, and you're proud and happy to be here. The problem nowadays is we have people that immigrate here
and they're bringing their culture with them,
and they don't love America.
And then they're bitching about everything that's wrong with our country.
And
they come here.
And you have a media and you have an echo chamber of their own people that tell you you're getting treated wrong here. Well, you came from some dirt hut shithole, Somalia. You guys know about that. You both have been to Somalia.
Yep.
Right? You come here and you want to hate on America.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Somalia smells like the inside of a dead fucking skunk.
I don't even know this smells that good.
The inside of a fake leg, as Bill Bodette would say.
Yep.
Well, either way, it's just a terrible country. They have zero government. They're running around crazy. Everybody's crooked. And then we got Omar, what the fuck's their name, coming here, talking about how Trump is infatuated with her, and all this. Get the fuck out of here, girl. Get the fuck out. You married your brother. Get the fuck out of here.
We probably should have thrown her in some West Virginia trivia.
I mean, come on, dude.
Get in with Harts Creek.
Harts Creek.
I mean, they implemented like 80,000 Somalis there, let them vote, and they voted her into Congress. Get the fuck out of here.
Look, and I don't give a shit if you have a high number.
You know what? If she would have came from Somalia and said, listen, I love America. Thank you so much for me being here. I'm a proud American right now, and I just want to do right for my country. I want to do right for my state. I want to do the right thing here. I would have fucking loved her with open arms. But they all come over. They're like, oh, all the white fucking the white Republicans are bad. We're all racist. We all suck. You know, but you know what? How about this? Go fuck yourself.
That's fair.
Well, while we're talking about the war on drugs, Art, you want to add to that?
The war on drugs.
Well, what you were just about to say.
The war on drugs. It's not going to be combated like Bo said earlier with slogans, with any kind of penalties here in the United States. You got to combat it at the source, at the growers, at the dealers in Central and South America.
Well, remember,
Cost them money. Make it worth more to export it than it's worth them getting back.
that president is making his money off of the drugs in Venezuela.
Yes.
Maduro.
Make it more of an effort to get it into the United States, and then it becomes less of a problem. And I've heard people talking about, well, we've got drugs here, we've got meth, we've got other things. Okay, you're right. But you don't unlock your front door at night just because you've got a leak in a pipe in your bathroom. So you've got inside problems. You don't ignore the threat at the front door. Take care of what's coming out of Central and South America. Combat it. And blowing these ships or boats or whatever you out of the waters, you know what? They're going to get pissed off. They're going to get tired of sending this crap.
Well, hey, do you see the Venezuelan army? They're like, yeah, come on.
All
You
9 of them?
See Maduro? Hey,
Yeah. I could go down here to the
buddy,
American Legion.
we got a 24th Mew sitting off your coast right now, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
2 Mew. Hell, I've got 11
got-
drunks here at the Legion that can fight those guys.
Hey,
Right.
3rd Battalion, 6 Marines.
Yeah.
Buddy,
Or
there's
1-8.
that's right, 3 6s over there, right?
But don't fuck around.
Buddy, listen, let me tell you, me and JC were in 3-6. I was in 3-6 twice. Buddy, Maduro, you have no clue what's going to happen if them boys get off them boats.
Here's
You
what
have no clue.
They're done.
Everything in front of them is going to die.
They're done.
here's what we've lost at home and abroad. If you are a bad actor and have bad intentions, pain
You
retains.
need to go.
Yeah.
Pain retains.
Yeah.
Pain retains. You've got to make it hurt, and we don't do that anymore. I think this administration's trying to.
But
We'll
got
see where
so
that goes.
many-
We'll see where that goes.
But we've got so many people that they hate Trump so bad.
Well, they don't give a shit. They just hate Trump. They don't give a fuck what he does.
What I'm saying is they hate him so bad that they're willing to let everything else go just to spite him. It's cutting off their nose to spite their face. They forgot about being American. It's no longer
Right,
being
you're
an
right.
American.
Right.
We're either a Democrat or Republican.
Right, there's no more.
We
American
forgot about
pride.
being an American. So
Right.
let's go back to the day of, you know what?
Back in the day.
Let's do what's best for the
Well,
country.
no, back in the day, when shit hit the fan, you could not tell the difference between a Republican and
No,
a
you
Democrat.
could not. John F. Kennedy. John
You know-
Kennedy was a Democrat, but he was what's best for this
John F.
country.
Kennedy was a Democrat, and he made the Russians blink
Yeah.
and turn their fucking ships around.
And smacked them. You're right in the
Smacked
mouth.
them right in the fucking mouth.
Buddy, I'll tell you what I think. I think politicians should have to wear a race car suit like NASCAR drivers.
Bingo, to see who there's
Oh,
Yeah,
who's
my
paying
sponsors
for
are
it.
my good friends at Real Tree, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Dickies Goat Glue, and KY Jelly. Well, we
And-
know who the hell Bill Bodette's working for.
Right.
Jack Daniels.
What about Lord Calvert?
Oh yeah.
Well, we got the Lord Calvert, too. You can't beat the Lord Calvert.
It's crazy. What
Broken
you just
Eden
said is
here
true.
this evening.
We got politicians in Washington who are bought by Russia. You got ones that are bought by Israel. You got ones that are bought by India. You got ones that are bought by China.
All right, listen, everybody
China.
says this. Everybody says this, and nobody has done a fucking thing about it. They should have term limits.
Yes.
They should have to find their own health care. They should not get the retirement they get. After 2 years of serving,
No.
they get like $170,000 a fucking year.
Yeah.
You know, give me a fucking break.
They should get the same motherfucking health insurance that the teachers get because they sit up there. and they sit up there and they want to cut their fucking benefits.
No, I don't think so as teachers. I think they should get the same health care that the military gets.
Didn't Harry S.
Okay.
Truman?
That's too good for them.
Get your little TRICARE.
That's
It's TRICARE.
That's too good for
And
them.
that's it. And guess what? After your 2 years, you go home. You get the 4 years, you go home, you go back to work.
It should be a
Okay?
public service.
Now, public service.
It should be a public service, and it's a free ride.
It used to be. It used to be.
It's a free ride now, is what it is.
Harry Truman said, "Show me a rich politician, and I'll show you a crook." Being a politician in the United States started out as a public service. It was never meant.
It was designed.
It was never meant as a freaking career.
It's a free ride now.
Hey, look here. Here's the thing. You come in, you do your deal. You know what? You served your term. You go on back to your farm, to your law practice, whatever.
Go back to work.
It's been usurped. It's been like just turned into a money scam by these assholes that have nothing else to do but suck and
Now
prey
wait a minute.
on.
Now wait a minute. Now let me tell you something. Hold on. They left their homes. They left their state. They came and served. Okay? They were congressmen, senators. They do deserve something. Okay?
Yeah, a card. Go home.
They do.
Have a
Shut
good
up,
time.
Jamie.
Have a good time. Let somebody else come in and serve the public for the public.
Jamie, listen to me. They do deserve something, but not what they're getting now. Okay? Because you know, they leave everything. They go to Washington and that shithole. They do it. Now the good ones, now sure they don't deserve half of what they get. Not even close to what they get. Okay? But listen, they're lawmakers, you know, and they do their job. And they work hard. But the ones that don't work hard, now they rely on their staff. Their staff will come and tell them what's going on. Some of them don't even show up to vote. Okay? We need to keep a tally on them motherfuckers that work hard. They do not deserve a retirement, first of all.
Hell no.
Okay? They should have the same medical care that the people in the military have, and they should make military pay. But the problem is, nobody'd run for office. Okay? True fucking story.
Here's an example of how I think our moral compasses went sideways. Of course, we're biased because we're all military guys. We're all Marines. People were real excited that the Medal of Honor recipients were receiving about you were getting about $17,000 a year for life. Wonderful, right? They just jumped that up to $67,000 a year, which is great. But a Medal of Honor recipient gets $67,000 for life.
And what does a congressman get?
It's six figures, like 100 and some thousand.
170.
How is that more than a Medal of Honor recipient? I don't know. It just shows. It's another shining example of where people don't do right by the people.
A Medal of Honor winner should never, ever, ever worry again about any kind of money.
No.
Our founding fathers tarred and feathered British legislators over less.
What's that?
Yes.
British, tar and feather and the British.
They tarred and feathered. It's a level of corruption that should disgust every American.
I'm glad you brought that up, JC.
We fought a war over a freaking 2% tax on tea.
We give them a third of our income.
Yeah, I think something for everybody out there to listen to and to really think about. And people mess this up a lot. Words have meaning. We have elected officials. We have management. That is a big difference between an elected leader and a leader, right? So, don't get wound up by what.
Yeah, but people are electing motherfuckers now because of the color of their skin. They're electing people now because they know them, or they're part of the fucking, who the fuck they are. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I get it. I get it. But what I'm simply saying is, we need to have a higher expectation of people.
I agree.
And leader is an earned term. That's not a given term.
So you're telling me you're going to run for Congress?
I might run for the mayor of Buffalo one day, but I don't know how my wife would feel about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. J.C. Knight.
Governor J.C. Knight, West Virginia.
Governor J.C. Knight.
Watch this.
Can't be any worse than what we got in there. Flying higher neath the sky of blue. Y'all ought to see the money I've got that Mommy spent for me to get singing lessons.
You're a songbird and an umpire and a Marine.
Nah, well, I'm an umpire. That's the greatest of my accomplishments of all time.
No, you 03 in the Marine Corps.
03, baby. Toe gunner.
Hey, we've had a lot, Bo. We've had a lot of questions. People come and always ask us, in our great and infinite wisdom, what did Lee Ermey, when he portrayed Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, mean when he said, Private Powell, I will motivate you if it short dicks every cannibal in the Congo. So to get to the root of the question, people want to know what happens when you short dick somebody.
Deprive them of food.
You're depriving them of food. So Private Pyle was fat and nasty, and he was going to sweat him so bad that if he put him down there with the cannibals in the Congo, they would starve because there'd be no meat left on the bone.
You know, the best one was when he said, "Get your fat ass up there, Private Pyle."
I bet you there.
He said, "I bet if there was a piece of pussy up there, you get your fat."
If God
would have wanted you, he'd have miracled your ass up there.
Then quit, you slimy walrus-looking piece of shit. Just get
quit.
down. I will motivate you if it short dicks every cannibal. You know, I used to get young Marines in trouble that would check in because we would always get what we call you got boot drops. All the boots check in, and they'd have a check-in sheet. Everybody had to check in with me, and when they would go to check in with me,
hello.
We have the commandant calling. Hold one, please.
Yes. My car insurance has expired.
We're calling you.
Go fuck yourself.
That's
We're calling you about
your car insurance limited warranty.
Warranty.
no, but being December 7th is coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow.
No, yeah, so tomorrow's December 7th. All the boots would check in, and they would come see me, and they didn't know what to do because I got shiny stuff on one side, I got a bursting bomb on the other. So they'd walk up, and I'd be like, "Marines, it's nice to meet you. I'm Chief Warrant Officer Knight. I'm the battalion food service officer." I said, "Do you know why food service officers wear a pineapple on one side of their collar?" And they're all at like attention. "No, sir." I said, "It's because it was the Marine cooks that dragged all the sailors to safety after they bombed Pearl Harbor." I said, "So if chow is ever fucked up, you let Chief Warrant Officer Knight know, and you stop and see me. If we're in the field, wherever we're at, you stop me, and we're going to get it sorted out." So we'd be out in the field, and some PFC's like, "Oh, there's the cook officer," and some sergeant would go, "That's the motherfucking gunner," and they would flip out. I'm like, "Don't kill him." I had them kids believing I was the food service officer with the pineapple.
You know, I on that note, my third week at Parris Island. I'm from the.
You got dropped.
No. Hell no.
He's been stealing valor this whole time. He's actually never was a Marine.
Look, easy now.
Whoa, Seabass.
Easy now.
Do you really think after all the shit we say about that we'd have somebody on the show?
I'm at Parris Island, right? And so we come out of the chow hall, and I'm from Wayne County. I've never been anywhere in my life. Like, I grew up on a farm. I've never been anywhere, never seen anything, done anything. Cow tipping was the most extravagant fucking thing I've ever done.
Tell me about the whores.
So, the whores.
The whores that you met in your travels.
Oh, well, that's later on. But, so we come out, we form after chow, and they call us to attention.
Form for chow?
So, I've never in my life heard anything about starch, right?
Starch.
That you spray on your
right.
damn...
On your
So
uniform.
they call us to attention and right face, and the rain starts coming down on Parris Island. And the raindrop starts hitting a drill instructor, and it starts rolling off. And I was like, the fucking rain don't even hit these motherfuckers.
That was Scotch Guard.
And I never heard a Scotch Guard before in my life.
That was Scotch Guard. It wasn't starch.
It just hit it, and it just rolled right off his uniform. I'm like, it scared the piss out of me. And I'm like, the fucking rain don't even hit these guys.
Well, what are we going to talk about now? My favorite color.
I don't know. Green,
What else we got, Seabass?
pink.
Well, we were going to talk about the government shutdown, but you guys kind of hit a little bit.
I don't care about the government
You guys
shutdown.
talked
We're
about
back
that just a
open
little
now.
bit.
Hell,
We're back.
we can all go to Yosemite now.
Bottom line, we're back open, and I'm sitting here with two Marines.
Yep.
Where?
Well,
he said I wasn't one.
There was a whole bunch of
Where's the whiskey? I ain't
Buddy,
gonna
here.
try to touch your dick, or that'd be a
You can see mine from space.
well. Appreciate that. Appreciate the 411
with the
there.
telescope is what he said though. You need a really
Remember
powerful
at the International
telescope.
Space Station. I'll keep that in mind.
JC, my best friend, the gunner here, I shouldn't talk about this, but he's hung like a tic-tac.
Oh my!
All right.
I'm like a Siberian yak. Woo! Come climb Space Mountain. Because I may be the oldest ride.
And I'm not the drunkest one here tonight.
Longest line.
And the longest lines. Because you may not be, you weren't the first,
You might be next.
We're filming here in Hurricane, West Virginia, and I am not from West Virginia. I live here now with my wife, but JC is here from West Virginia, and so is my buddy Jamie. Now, we're all Marines here, so it touches their heart a little bit deeper about that National Guardsman from West Virginia that was killed by a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Okay? All she was trying to do was do her fucking job and to make bad people not do bad things. And some scumbag came up and killed her. You know, how do you feel about that, JC? I mean, you being in West Virginia, you being a mountaineer, you being a true mountaineer from the great state of West Virginia. She was a National Guardsman.
It hurts me as an American that we have slipped to the level that an American guardsman there, in support of law enforcement to clean up a city, was
our nation's capital.
Our nation's capital was shot in the streets. And for those of you that don't know, I travel to D.C. probably about once every 45 days. And there are problems there, and our police are overwhelmed. And they are simply augmenting what our police do. And for that young girl with a bright life, I think she was 20, 21.
He just walked up and just...
Sarah Beckstrom, 20, a member of the
couldn't
West
even
Virginia
legally
National Guard.
drink a beer. She died in the streets as a uniformed service member doing her duty.
November
What a
26th.
Tragedy. And then the other guardsman, we hear he's on the verge of pulling through.
Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, 24, was critically injured.
But I think it's terrible. They're in our thoughts. And if you're an American and you're out there and you think, well, they shouldn't have been there anyway, you're part of the fucking problem. You're part of the fucking problem.
Yep. Because that same mentality, they shouldn't have been there or they wouldn't have been shot, well, she shouldn't have been there or she wouldn't have been raped. He shouldn't have been there or he wouldn't have been mugged. It doesn't matter. Why they were there, what they were doing what they were ordered to do.
Absolutely, yep.
They were kids.
She was doing an honorable thing.
They were doing what they were ordered to do. They were no different than, in my mind, than the person that's at the front at Walmart. They were doing their job. And someone who didn't agree with why they were there, what they were doing, drove across the country and fired rounds into them.
He was identified as 29-year-old Ramanala. I'm going to butcher this. Ramanala Lakawala.
Well, it's too bad we can't butcher him too.
That he worked with us over there.
He was an Afghan national who came to the U.S. in 2021 under a resettlement program. He was a former member of a CIA-backed counterterrorism unit.
So you know what that tells me? He was a bad fucking character over there.
Stick a gaff hook up his ass, hang him out, so everybody else knows if you want to do this is what's going to happen to you.
So my thing is this. Look, I know there are good Muslims. One of our Marine brothers actually got 4 of our interpreters back for the States out of Kabul.
Yep.
That fought with us, gave up their life to come to the United States and start their life over. You're never going to have a problem with them. The problem is, again, we let too many bad actors slide, be it the Colombian fisherman, be it, the habitual child abuser. Tolerance. It comes back to tolerance, right? If there should not be anybody preaching Islamist extremism in the streets of the United fucking States and be allowed to be comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
They should have their fucking ass kicked, hauled off, put on a C-130, and come back to whatever dirt farm they fucking came from.
Me and someone else was having this argument at work, and
but I don't want to get away from this while we're talking about it. It's terrible what happened to the 2 guardsmen. They're in our thoughts. They're in everybody in West Virginia's thoughts. They should be in everybody's thoughts. And
but they're not no more.
They're not, and it should be viewed as an absolute tragedy that this happened in America. We have some badass guardsmen, but a lot of our citizen soldiers that are in the Guard, be it the Air Guard or the Army Guard, guess what? They want to go in there. They want to serve their country. They want to get some benefits to get them through college, and they want to go out and be a productive citizen. They were just out there serving their country and following orders.
And then this ass weasel decides to come in, find somebody with a uniform, shoot him, try to make a statement for his cause or whatever, You know what?
Yeah,
I hope
yeah,
they hang him.
real tough motherfucker.
I hope
go kill a fucking goddamn couple guards.
I hope,
I
hope they hang him from a yard arm.
The problem is somebody knew. Somebody knew, and they let it slide. Somebody could have said something. Somebody could have stopped this. But people in our country have gotten just so complacent with everything that we just let evil slide by. You got to put a stop to it.
You know, while we're on this, I never actually got to cover this with you guys. I really wanted to hit this. If you feel like it, we don't have to. We never really covered the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Oh, my God.
And this could be a good opportunity to just hit that. The 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan marked the end of the 20-year war and concluded with the final American military aircraft departing on August 30, 2021. The process was characterized by chaos, culminating in a terrorist attack at Kabul's airport that killed 13 U.S. service members and over 170 Afghan civilians. The withdrawal followed a deal made by the Trump administration with the Taliban, which the Biden administration inherited, leading to a large-scale evacuation of U.S. personnel and Afghan allies. So, you all were both in Afghanistan.
So, I will tell you this. Politics and politicians fuck everything up. In that we were one bombing campaign away from winning Vietnam. The NVA, the People's Army, ready to fuck this. We're done. We started off whooping ass in Afghanistan. Then we decided to shift to Iraq. Then we went back to Afghanistan. If it's worth a drop of American blood, you should go and finish the job and finish it right. You owe it to the service member. You owe it to their families. You owe it to the nation. Our politicians fuck that up every time. Both sides. Okay?
Because bottom line is this: nobody in this whole world ever beat us in battle.
No.
We literally overwhelmed them with everything. I mean, nobody can beat us in battle. The only people that can beat the United States in battle is our fucking politicians.
That's the absolute truth. This is what I do know, and I don't know how we don't understand this. And we were talking earlier about the Arab states, Islam. Those people understand the fucking sword. That's what they.
That's all it is.
That's all. They understand the sword. So if I'm king for a day, okay, there's different levels of war: tactical, operational, strategic. I'm going to talk specifically on the tactical level war. That's the lives that we lived. First Sergeant Bodette, Gunner Knight. We're getting ready to evacuate American interests out of Kabul. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take 3 infantry battalions with fires.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to coordinate. I'm going to do all that.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a badass general, and I probably might even send a high-ranking American politician. We're going to leave. We're going to give you your dirt farm. But I swear to God, if one American gets hurt, we're resetting this.
One hair.
And we're starting the fuck over. So we're going into Kabul. We're using the airfield. We're moving everything out of here. When we do,
they didn't move shit out of there.
We are going to cordon everything off, and we're going to get everybody out of here in an orderly fashion. People are going to come in through checkpoints. Here's the thing that blew my mind, and I have several buddies that were with 2-1 and 1-8 that have given me witness accounts of this and talked about this. Could you imagine with our battle-hardened guys, the Cronenberries, the Reiskys, the Thorntons, the Taddies, all these guys, Milan, all of our guys, could you imagine us saying, hey, you're on post tonight, and by the way, we're putting a damn Taliban fighter on post with you? These kids had never seen war, and you put Taliban on post with them. That's criminal. You should be in fucking jail for forcing them guys to do that.
He said that they were working with the Taliban for the withdrawal, and it just happened overnight. We left armories of weapon systems. We left parking lots of our vehicles.
There are, and just to paint it out for the American, there were more 240 machine guns left in Afghanistan than the entire Marine Corps owns.
Let me tell you something. When that happened, I remember sitting in my living room watching this fucking goat rope, and I felt betrayed. I could not believe, for political reasons, they just did that. You know, I understand if you wanted to withdraw, but That was so fucking disgusting, and how that happened. And then you have people on TV, you know, for the Biden administration saying it was a success. Fuck, no one is success.
You know what really hurt me with this? I remember I sat in front of this Marine, and he's probably out there. We're friends on Facebook. I sat behind this kid at National Purple Heart Day in the White House. And I remember seeing this kid before he got hit by before the bomb went off that killed all the Marines. He was a sniper. And I'm sitting behind this kid, and he's now a double amputee. Before that, this kid was an animal. I watched him, this kid deadlifting 500 pounds. He's still a fucking animal, still out there living a good life. But I'm sitting behind this Marine, and I've got my daughter, Allie, with me, and she's looking, and he's got his suit tailored because he's missing an arm and he's missing a leg.
Yeah.
You know? Our politicians.
They did that to him.
Our politicians did that. Our politicians did that. I don't blame uniformed service members for that, because I know a lot of great Marines that were over there that did great work, that were put in a position that, in my mind and anybody's mind that's ever been over there and had to fight knows, was untenable.
Well, listen, people are going to die. People are going to get wounded. People are going to be amputees. I mean, that's just the cost of battle. But for that, it did not have to happen.
No. Not that way.
It did not have to happen.
I mean, look, I'm no fucking Erwin Rommel, right? I'm no Patton. I'm no Van Riper. But if you gave me 3 battalions to secure that area and secure that airfield...
Oh, come on. You could have took a good fucking corporal, and it did better than them fucking political fucking generals did.
Again, it's real simple to people that have lived it. The respect for human life in areas that only understand the sword is lower than whale shit. It's not like here. So you find yourself over there indifferent, wasting your life and just sucking. Man, good people have been put in real bad. Good people have been put in real bad positions, and
me and you.
Yeah, and if Kabul, it's sad, man. It's heartbreaking. But our problem with that, people are like, if we don't.
Now the Taliban is arms dealers.
Ridiculous.
They're dealing armed machine guns, or rockets, or fucking goddamn M4s, or grenades, everything. They're the biggest arms dealer in the world. They're like the third biggest arms dealer in the world because of all the shit we left.
It's just fucking irresponsible. It's just irresponsible.
I feel betrayed, man. I feel betrayed.
Now, what I will say to the veteran audience out there, and people ask me this all the time. People that don't know or don't understand and want to cast a negative. Well, why did you go over there? I will tell you why. For every little kid that I handed a basketball to, a pair of socks, shoes, pencils, pens, crayons.
Do you remember when we had those 2 little girls that lived up above our fob, and they would come down, and the little boys would throw rocks at them?
Yeah.
And I told the Terp, I said, go get those 2 little girls, and I had my mom send a box.
I do.
Of dresses and baby dolls and little shoes for them and flip flops for them, and I got a picture of it. And I was, because little girls are little girls anywhere in the world, and it's and I had them brought, and they were so scared, and I gave them dresses, I gave them everything, and
you remember when you and me would like go down in front of the camp there at Blessing? We would go in front of the camp, and the little girls were extremely shy and scared. Way more than you would ever see from a Western little girl. But all of a sudden,
we gave them ice cream, and they wrapped it up in their little fucking thing because they thought somebody was going to take it from them. And I said, no, you got to eat it now because it's going to melt.
I remember you and me would put them on senior drill instructor time. We wouldn't let no boys around because, look, we both got daughters.
Well, you remember?
We'd give them candy. We'd say, you sit here and enjoy this.
No, do you remember when I said, after all that shit happened with that, and I said, we were up there Blessing, when I said, the next motherfucker that throws a rock at a little girl, I'm going to shoot you.
I do.
And 2 of them quit.
Yeah.
They were Afghanis. They were working on the base. But they would throw a little rock. They would throw rocks at girls. tell them to get away. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We don't throw rocks at little girls. I said, let me have a meeting with everybody here. I said, the next motherfucker that throws a rock at a little girl, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shoot you. And they're like, huh.
And here in the
And
street,
two of them, they just walked off. I said, go.
and here in the streets of America, you'll find a 300-pound white woman with 20 piercings in her face and blue fucking hair talking about free Palestine and Islam is love. You lady are a fucking fool.
Because we were there.
Be grateful that you live in the greatest country on this fucking planet. I hope that we don't make that mistake again, Seabass, putting our service members in the positions that we do.
Because we kicked ass. Every battle we went into, we fucking whipped their ass. We kicked the shit out of people. The only problem, honest to God, the only fucking goddamn enemy we have is our politicians.
Cold beer for you.
You know?
Cold beer saves your right.
So,
But does that answer the question, Seabass?
yes, thank you both for sharing that. Thank you. So we have a lot of people taking what we have for granted, it seems, right? By the way they vote and by what they post on social media when they're out protesting. They basically want to just throw away everything that we hold as valuable, right, and virtuous. Could you all just briefly describe what you saw over there under Taliban rule? Like, why? What?
There was no Taliban rule there because we fucking killed all of them.
No, and when we were like, let's go to Iraq, we had a family that lived down the fucking road there. We brought them heaters,
Yeah.
right? Brought them heat. We brought them everything. See, that's how Americans are. We're gonna do the right thing. You know, we're gonna take care of the children. We're gonna take care of the families.
Yeah.
But if you're a bad actor, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face.
And look, there you see good and bad everywhere. I got two specific examples. We had one house over the hill, and I don't know if I've ever brought this up before, but it really stuck with me.
Was I there?
No, I was by myself.
No, what are you talking about?
It's the spinal bifida kid. We had this.
Oh.
We went by this one house outside of our fob, and generally Arabs don't like dogs, right? They usually shoot them. Dogs bad.
Well, they treat the handicapped like dogs.
Can you set the scene a little bit for
Well,
people who
I'm
don't?
on patrol with one of my squads.
They treat the handicapped
like dogs.
Well,
Well, we're on patrol.
Muslim
We're on patrol, and I hear. I'm like, these motherfuckers don't own no dogs. It's a dad whistling for his son that has spinal bifida. He's crawling in the yard. His knees are scabbed up and dirty. His nuts are dragging in the dirt, and he whistles for him and taps him like a dog. I looked at Steve, our Terp from Sudan. I went inside, took one other Marine with me. I said, if I hear anything that even resembles a fucking whistle
I remember that.
ever again, I said, you and me are going to have fucking problems.
That was outside our fob at
Outside our
Iwo Jima.
fob.
Yeah,
And so, just to be clear, you're not. What you're saying is that this isn't just Taliban. This is how they hold.
It's culture in,
It's a culture.
in terrible, bad Middle Eastern countries that are ruled by the sword, which is quite a fucking few of them.
ruled
Right.
by the sword.
Now,
Right.
but
And their sword ain't worth a fuck.
it ain't worth a fuck. And then anyway, I made one more visit to that guy, and we'll leave it at that. But we had a fight where we lost our Marine. But then we ended up burying a guy. The group of suicide bombers got buried in a house about a week later.
You remember when they came to us and they say, can we dig them up because the bodies are starting to smell?
No, you can fucking leave them. And that's another story. But you think about how we think and how we're raised. We had a cordon set up after that happened, and then guess what happened? The AQIZ, the Al-Qaeda in Iraq, would show up, and they had mortar base plates that were sunk into the dirt, and they would pull up in a taxi cab, put the mortar in the base plate, and we started getting mortared. Well, all of a sudden, this man comes running out, and he's got blood all over him. I got one Marine that's getting ready to shoot. I'm like, don't shoot. And the guy's like, he's like, mister. So I grabbed our reporter, and I handed him my pistol. I said, here, we're going in there. These 3 little girls got fragged by mortars.
Oh my god.
And I look at two of them. I looked at Doc Irk. 2 of them were going to live. I had this one girl, and if I didn't help her, she was going to die. Her whole spine was fucking blown out.
Oh my god.
So, I took her, illegally put her in a track, and evac'd her to Jordan, right? We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to let them handle their own shit. We got the girl out of there. Well, we knew the locals because Marines do the right thing, right? And this all goes back to us, no better friend, no worse enemy. We would stop and see the dad, and the dad's like, oh, she's going to live, but from here, mister, and I could see what he was doing. And he's like, I don't have a wheelchair. And I remember going back to our big camp, Alcom. And I went down to BAS and I talked to the chief. And I said, do we have a wheelchair? And he gave me a fucking wheelchair.
Who does that? Americans.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I went on a patrol, and I showed up, and I had that thing strapped with 2 pack straps on my back, and we gave them the wheelchair, man. And people, that's where we won. So while we're not there, and we've given it back to these Arab countries, Iraq and Afghanistan specifically, to police themselves, at least I know we did our part to where those people are going to be like.
I have realized one thing, JC. You're fighting an idea. You're fighting a religion. No matter what good you do, no matter what we do, they literally care at that time.
Yeah.
But they really don't. I'm telling you, it's just a terrible pendulum that just keeps swinging this way and this way.
But I will say this, and I think you can agree with me on this. I know in my heart that the way we treated people, that we probably changed some people in those countries from becoming radicalized. Some people are going to say,
"Oh, no, well, no doubt about that, JC." But they're surrounded by all that bullshit there, and I really can't say any more about it.
Yeah.
I just, them motherfuckers have stolen the luxury of me believing and trusting them.
I absolutely
They have robbed me from that luxury
of any.
because I don't trust any of them. Now I do not.
It's the only radicalized religion in 2025. It's the only radicalized religion that kills people wholesale, and you are the only group of people that I absolutely have a prejudice against.
Right.
It's not that you can't prove me wrong.
They robbed me from the luxury of not being prejudiced.
Right.
Now I have to be.
Yeah. I don't do that with anybody else. But that absolutely.
All right, we were in Korean Village.
Yeah.
And we hit this village and shit, and we told them all to leave. If you're a bad person, stay. We want to fight you. Well, of course, his family didn't leave, and come on this thing, and there's this little girl that was wounded, and she looked about as old as my daughter at the time. So I grabbed her, got her to the helo, got her flown out. Well, come to find out, she died in flight. So I get the radio back. I get a call saying, "Hey, we're coming back. She died in flight." So I was trying to get her to the fucking hospital or whatever the hell we had. So they handed me this little girl, and we had to bring her back,
Man.
to her parents.
Terrible.
And to this fucking into this village. And when we showed up in the tracks, I remember her mother coming out going, "Oh yeah." And then everybody started freaking out when they found out she was dead. And then 2 seconds later, guess what she asked for? Money. This is JC in the Bo Show. God bless America.
Amen.